Jim Jones, a founding member of the influential hip-hop group The Diplomats, Dipset, recently shared some deep insights on his relationship with his former group members during an appearance on the Joe Budden podcast. In a candid conversation, he discussed the impact of betrayal within the group, how forgiveness plays a role in his life, and the possibility of a reunion with Dipset. His comments provide a fascinating look into the challenges of friendship, loyalty, and personal growth that come with being in the public eye, especially when it involves long-standing relationships like the one he has with Cameron, Joel Santana, and the rest of the Dipset crew. The Dipset Collective, founded in 1997, was one of the most influential hip-hop groups of the early 2000s. Their unique sound and undeniable impact on the culture, blending street narratives with high-fashion sensibilities, created a lasting legacy that has continued to shape the world of hip-hop today. However, as is often the case with groups that rise to fame, internal issues have often plagued their progress and unity. And this breakdown was evident in Jim Jones's recent remarks. During the podcast, Jim was asked whether he could ever forgive the people who had wronged him, particularly his former Dipset brethren. His answer was direct and thought-provoking. "I can forgive, but I can't forget." Jim explained that while he was open to forgiving people for their mistakes, forgetting the events that led to the betrayal was much more difficult. For Jones, it wasn't just about the act itself, but about the intention behind it. He made it clear that actions taken with malice or thoughtlessness were harder to overcome, as they leave a deeper scar. Jones's perspective on this matter is profound. He's not the type to hold grudges, but his experience has taught him that the intent behind someone's actions matters greatly in the healing process. This idea of forgive but don't forget resonates deeply with many people, particularly those who've experienced betrayal in relationships, whether personal or professional. The emotional weight of betrayal can create a situation where forgiveness might be granted out of a desire for peace or moving forward, but the scars of what happened remain. The inability to forget might also stem from a fear of being hurt again, which is a very real concern. Jim acknowledges that in his situation, some of the betrayals felt too deliberate for him to easily erase from his memory. His response, though layered with pain, shows his maturity in understanding the complexities of human behavior and relationships. In many ways, Jim's reflections highlight the dilemma faced by many public figures. On one hand, you want to move past certain issues for the sake of personal growth. On the other hand, some betrayals are too deep to allow for full reconciliation. Forgiveness may be possible, but moving forward without addressing the past feels incomplete. Jim's statement that he can forgive but won't forget is not simply a motto. It's a stance grounded in his life experiences. He appears to view forgiveness as an important, personal step for his own mental well-being, but also believes that forgetting could ultimately lead to repeating past mistakes. This level of insight speaks volumes about his character and how much he has grown over the years. Despite the complexities of forgiveness, the conversation also turned toward the future of Dipset. Fans have long been hoping for a reunion, but Jim seemed less optimistic about that happening anytime soon. While he has never hidden his love for the group and its legacy, he acknowledged that things may never be the same again. The bond he once shared with Cameron, Joel Santana, and others may have been irrevocably damaged. Jim expressed his belief that no matter how much fans wanted it, the chances of a true Dipset reunion were slim. This was a harsh reality for hip-hop fans, who had always dreamed of seeing the group come together once again in its original form. Jim's comments about the future of Dipset were not just about a group reunion, but also about how he sees himself as an individual within the broader culture of hip-hop. He made an important point. While Dipset may not be able to return to the heights they once reached together, he is still very much committed to his mission. Jim emphasized that he had built his own brand and had no intention of letting go of it anytime soon. In fact, he mentioned that he would continue to pursue his goals in the music industry regardless of the state of his relationship with the other members. Jim stated, "This is my time. I got a whole another mission." This sense of individuality and determination is what has kept Jim Jones relevant in an industry where longevity is difficult to achieve. Jones has continued to work hard in maintaining his presence in the music scene, dropping consistent projects over the years. In the last 15 years, he has released 15 projects, averaging one project per year. This is a staggering feat when considering how competitive the music industry can be, especially for an artist who is now well past his prime in terms of mainstream commercial success. What's even more remarkable is the fact that Jim has managed to stay relevant year after year, despite the changing dynamics of the industry. He's worked with top producers and artists, ensuring that his sound evolves with the times while still staying true to his roots. Jim's consistent output is something that fans have come to rely on, even if the mainstream media doesn't always highlight his work. For him, it's not just about the accolades, it's about keeping the culture alive. He views himself as an essential figure in maintaining the Dipset legacy. He proudly stated, "I've been holding the bird up for all y'all to say I'm still Dipset. Otherwise, we would have been faded long time ago." Jim's comment underscores his role as the last standing member of the group, who continues to put in the work, whether or not it garners the same level of attention it did during Dipset's heyday. In his discussion, Jim also reflected on the importance of the Dipset brand. He acknowledged that, although the group may never fully reunite, he will continue to represent the Bird Gang and keep the name alive. His sense of responsibility to the group's legacy is deeply rooted in his love for the brand they built together. He's been the one out here, putting in work for years, ensuring that people remember what Dipset was all about. Jim doesn't shy away from this fact. In fact, he seems almost proud of it, feeling that without his contributions, the Dipset name might have faded into obscurity. Jim's pride in keeping the name alive speaks to his commitment, not only to the group, but also to hip-hop culture itself. While his focus has been on his solo career and keeping the Bird Gang alive, Jim also recognizes the broader cultural significance of the Dipset brand. Dipset's influence on fashion, music, and street culture is undeniable. From their signature diplomatic immunity mixtapes to their role in popularizing the Harlem streetwear aesthetic, they made a lasting impact on the culture of hip-hop and beyond. Jim understands that this legacy is bigger than any one member. However, he also feels that he's the one who has kept it relevant in today's climate.